To those of you who don't understand why somebody would buy a Chinese mini skid steer, I'm going to tell you about that today in this video. So, do you have a piece of property? Do you dig holes by hand? Do you ever need an auger? Do you ever need pallet forks? Do you ever need to move trailers? Do you ever need to cut some brush? Do you ever need to grind stumps, split logs, sweep your driveway? I mean, there's dozens of things, hundreds of things that you can do with these. Well, I happen to be one of those homeowners, and I have a little piece of property. And it's a little raggedy right now, and I can use some help on it. So, let me tell you about why I decided to buy a Chinese mini skid steer. Besides the fact that these are cool, you can do all kinds of cool tasks with them. So I originally thought about going to buy a Kubota tractor. I started shopping for a Kubota BX series subcompact, but I realized that they can't do a whole lot. They're pretty small, and some of the things I want to do take a whole lot more effort than what they can possibly put forward. So then I looked at the Kubota B series, and then the salesman was telling me I probably need the L series. By the time I'm looking at the L series, then we're talking about real money. We're talking about $30-some thousand. So I'm like, well, that's a little more than I want to spend on something like this. So I went down to the BX or B again, and I'm like, well, okay, well, any of these tractors, what's it cost to get a backhoe attachment? And it was like $8,000 or $9,000 to get that attachment. I was like, holy cow. So once you spend $25,000, $30,000 on a basic tiny tractor that doesn't really weigh much and doesn't have much horsepower and gets stuck all the time if you're going to be in any sort of wet or sandy areas, I was like, man, then you got to spend, I mean, just on the backhoe, thousands. So they come with like a finish mower underneath, and they come with a bucket, but anything else you buy, it's thousands. And I was like, I'm out on that. I don't need that. I've got a shovel, I've got a rake, I've got a dolly, a hand truck, and I've got trailers, so I'm good. So then one day, I'm just looking online, and I come across this mini excavator. And I was like, huh, that looks pretty cool. I'm like, holy cow, that's only a few grand? So I start shopping for mini excavators because I'm like, man, I could probably do some cool stuff with that, right? And that's when I was officially bitten by the bug. So I'm researching, and I'm finding out I can go to auctions and I can buy them really cheap, but I have a real job. I don't have time to go to auctions. So I'm shopping around, looking at Marketplace, and I'm learning that there are differences between the machines. There are cheap auction junky units, and there's some higher end units. You're going to pay more for a better unit. So that's when I came across a local dealership, K&R Equipment, and I ended up buying my little 1-ton mini excavator. You guys think I overpaid for it? That's okay, whatever. It worked great for me. I actually went to my local credit union. I financed it at $160 a month. $160 a month, I could figure out how to make that payment. No big deal. I won't even feel it, but I'll be able to use the rake. I'll be able to dig trenches, dig holes, move dirt. So I'm going to go buy one, right? So that's what I did. And I bought it at a dealership, and I bought one with the hard lines, hydraulic thumb, the auxiliary hydraulic cooler, the cooling fan, little armrest. It's got the light on it. I mean, all the stuff, all the protection things. And it was like 10 grand. Now I know these days you can go buy mini excavators, inexpensive auction units for like $3,000 to $5,000 all day long every day. But this was almost a couple years ago now, and it was different then. So I got that, and it was awesome. I mean, game changer. Think about it. I spent 10 grand, and think about all the work I can do, or I could have bought that Kubota for $30-some thousand. I'm probably going to go with the Mini X. So fast forward a little bit. And I found out about these mini skids, and I'm like, man, I want a mini skid. These look awesome. I had some people show up. I had coworkers come over here to pick up actually some of the wood from my V1000 from the crates, because they're going to build some stuff in their backyard with it. So anyway, so I ordered my DRT 450 online. I got it on Alibaba. And man, it's game changer for a homeowner. I'm telling you, the stuff we can do with it. So, I mean, I move stuff all the time. I use it all the time, just for little things here and there. You're never going to see my machines with high hours. I mean, because I'm at work Monday through Friday. I mean, this is after work, but I just needed to move these things around real quick. But it's so easy with these. Like, why wouldn't you want one? I don't understand. By the way, I'm gonna go get some lights. I'll be right back. Now I got the lights on the ambulance. I'm gonna move these pallets real quick. Sure does save me a lot of headache to be able to run around my yard and use little machines like this. So you ask if I'm a salesman for the company? Well, unintentionally. Intentionally, I want toys. Intentionally, I'm trying to earn revenue on advertisements on YouTube. I'm trying to make money on YouTube, clearly, because I'm a YouTuber now, right? I'm official. But I need something to make content with, and that's what these are. So these are not the cheap, junk, Chinese, crappy little machines. These are premium Chinese machines. These things don't break all the time. When you get them, you don't have to change the fluid. Just if I want to go out and use my machines, I don't have to worry about them. These are not the cheap Chinese junk. Are they made in China? Yeah, they're made in China. But they are premium machines. They fire up every time. I can use them whenever I want. And they just work. So most of the videos I make here on YouTube, I'm just showing off what they can do. But what I never really show you is just my daily life using machines. Do I need the machines to do this? No. Could I have gotten my truck to move a trailer? Yes. Could I pick those pallets up myself and those pieces of wood myself? Yeah, of course I could. Well, why would I want to? I can use my machine and go move it. It's easy. I know it's gonna work every time. And then when I'm running around my yard at night, like right now, trying to do some projects, how am I supposed to see what I'm doing? Oh. We just turn on the old Ambo, and I got all the light in the world. Honestly, I'm not really sure which machine I like better. This one's quick and easy. I know how to use it. The V1000's big and beastie, and I'm just learning how it operates. So, I don't know. I like them both. I have a big old tractor. Would I just jump on it, fire it up, and go move these? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I just do it by hand. I can't tell you. Because I don't have a tractor and I have these. And why wouldn't I use these? So for those of you that say, why would you buy Chinese equipment? So let me break it down for you. Green machine, Honda, twin cylinder gas motor with a 3-pump setup. It's tiny. I could run it around anywhere. And I paid $8,500 shipped from China here. This machine, this is the big bad Derette V1000. This one, $9,300 shipped here. Somewhere around 13 or 14, I don't know. I got a bunch of attachments. I don't know the exact price just for the machine alone, but it's somewhere around there. Or I could have gone to a dealership and I could have got a big bad old tractor that probably isn't as capable of what this can do. And so for under 20 grand, I have this with a mulcher and a tiller and a Harley rake and a log splitter and a sweeper. And for that thing, I paid 18 grand for the machine with the pallet forks and the stump grinder and the brush cutter and the auger and the 4-in-1 bucket and the trencher, and I can't even think of them all. I got so many attachments. I got 9 attachments with that for like 18.5 or something. I've got a whole video on the breakdown of how I got that and what I paid. So I don't know, tractor be cool. Oh, and then used ones. You guys all talk about used. Why didn't I just buy a used machine? Man, I can't afford the maintenance on them things. Why would I want to pay for maintenance on one of those expensive machines that's expensive to maintain? And then get a used one? Have one that wasn't a rental fleet maybe. Or maybe it was used by a landscaping crew. Maybe it was used by a tree service and it's just ragged out, high hours, you know, rode hard, put away wet. Why would I want that? Why wouldn't I just get a brand new one, especially as a homeowner? I mean, you're never going to see 1,000 hours on this. I'm not worried about 1,000 hours on this. I just use it around my yard. And now I make YouTube videos with it, and I don't have a lot of hours. Actually, I got this in July, and I'm looking at I've got just over 40 hours on it. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February. 7 months. And I got over 40 hours on it. Man, I'm not worried about this thing lasting forever. I mean, in a year, I might have 100 hours on it. Well, not anymore because I've got the V1000. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of reviews on that. But yeah. So, and I'm not super particular about this one brand. I just learned that Derette is quality. This is a premium Chinese machine. It's not like the little auction ones. But anyway, so rambled on again. But there you go. Some reason why you might want to buy a Chinese mini skid steer. Or mini excavator for that matter, because tens of thousands cheaper than the cheapest tractor. Now for the mini skids, you're not going to touch one of these for under $40,000. You know, and you're still going to have all kinds of issues. I don't really have issues with these, but I don't use them a ton. I imagine those big name brands I won't have issues with because I don't use them a lot either. But if I don't use it much, why would I spend tens of thousands of dollars? Why don't I just keep that money and use it for something else? Or I find a product that I know is good and I just share it with the world and let everyone know, hey, I found a cheap alternative to these super expensive prices. As always, thanks for coming out. If you like to hear me ramble, like and subscribe. I'm going to do a bunch of videos with the attachments coming up on these. I'm going to put the mulcher on the DRT 450. I'm going to learn how to use the mulcher better on the V1000, and I'm going to go through all 14 of my attachments on the machines and do a whole bunch of videos on it. I got a whole series of these coming up. And special guest coming up, another YouTuber. He's got a channel and he's got some machines, and we're going to get together in a couple weeks and we're going to do some videos and we're going to compare our machines. He's got some name brand stuff. He's got some Chinese stuff, and we're going to put my machines against his machines and we're going to see which ones are better. So a lot more stuff coming up. Thanks for coming out. Have yourself a great night. Enjoy your time out here in the trees. And man, thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate every single one of you. Have a great night.